Hi there, everyone. Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins. No severe weather this time that we're talking about. This time it's more of the heat and the humidity and all that stuff. But you know what? It's that time of year. And so I don't want to alarm anybody like it's going to be crazy hot. I mean, it is going to be hot. Some spots may see triple digits as we head towards the beginning of next week. But overall, it's a hot time of year. And I think that's kind of what we're going to see over the next week or so. Maybe some thunderstorms here and there, but this video in particular is going to be about the heat and how warm it's going to get. I think the middle part of the country will probably be the warmest and above average, but it looks like kind of the western half and the eastern half, well, quarter, I guess, might actually be a little bit cooler. But here, for instance, today, July 25th, when I'm recording this, the lows were warm. I mean, that's part of the problem. It's not just the high temperatures, it's the low temperatures, like Salt Lake City, almost 80, Phoenix at 94, New York City, 75. I mean, that's warm. Look at International Falls, though, 48 degrees. That would be awesome. I mean, that's jeans and a sweatshirt kind of weather right there. So anyway, high temperatures on the 25th, mainly the 90s. You were cooler in San Francisco and Seattle. Not bad in Atlanta, New York, Indianapolis, basically the eastern 2/3 of the state. Not too bad, but you got that swath right down the middle from Billings to Phoenix over to Lincoln, Oklahoma City, and San Antonio. A little warm, lower, middle, and upper 90s and some 100s out there. Phoenix, that's kind of usual for them. So here's your forecast as we head towards the weekend. Friday, high temperatures, again, right down the middle of the country, probably the warmest towards Phoenix, of course, at 112. But Denver, Salt Lake City, Billings, Lincoln, Oklahoma City, a lot of 90s out there. But really, that's only 5 to 10 degrees above average, which this time of year is a lot. I mean, International Falls 11 degrees warmer than average for their high. So that's something. But cooler, I think there's rain chances towards East Texas, Louisiana, and the Gulf Coast. So that's why I think those areas a lot more cloud cover. You're probably going to see 2 to 5 or 6 degrees below average, and also towards the West Coast as well. But like Phoenix, Denver, Lincoln, International Falls, all a little above average. The heat continues. A lot of 90s out there in the center part of the U.S. Lincoln, Denver, Salt Lake, Billings, Phoenix, 110. International Falls, 87 degrees, 89 in San Antonio. A lot of 80s out there. So just about everybody, except for the West Coast, in the 80s, 90s, and 100s. But that's, again, pretty close to normal. International Falls a good 9 or 10 degrees above average. Lincoln, Denver, 3 degrees above average, along with Billings. So everybody's really close to normal, but it just continues to be above average. Not by a whole lot, but just enough. And this time of year, when you're just a few degrees above average, it wears on you. That's part of the problem, is that it wears on you over and over and over again. Another middle 90s day for Lincoln. Denver, 98. Oklahoma City, 93. Phoenix, another 109. So still, it's not a whole lot above average, but it's above average. You're at 6 to 7 degrees above average for Denver and Lincoln, 5 degrees above for Phoenix. They don't need to be above average. International Falls, usually not this warm. Even though they're cooler than everybody else, they're warmer than average. But then again, on the west and the east, you're looking at 2 or 3 degrees below average. So there's that. Precipitation potential, if you look at the Gulf Coast, the East Coast, towards Atlanta, Kentucky, Tennessee, the Deep South, the Gulf of Mexico, East Texas, around Houston, a lot of rain. So that's kind of why their temperatures are going to be a little cooler than average. But notice if you draw a line from Minneapolis through Lincoln to Dallas and then go west, there's a lot of dryness there. So we're already looking at drought trying to creep back into some spots. And that may happen over the next 5 to 10 days. This is the next 5 days precipitation potential through the end of the month, July 30th, which, okay, not the exact end of the month, but still. So the potential is there for drying to happen significantly in some spots for the western half of the state. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. This is from the last day of July through the first 3 or 4 days in August, and just about everybody is above average. The only spots that there are no below average expectations from July 31st through the August 4th. Houston, San Francisco, and Portland near normal. Everybody else, especially from the panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma up through Kansas, Nebraska, the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wyoming, Colorado, and Montana, really good chance of seeing above average temperatures for that first half a week into August. And precipitation potential, the eastern third of the U.S. likely a little bit above normal for precipitation, but central and western Nebraska, look at from Billings to Denver to Lincoln, parts of the Dakotas into Kansas, Panhandle of Oklahoma, likely not going to see much rain. Below average precipitation for July 31st, August 1, 2, 3, and 4. I mean, that's a solid 4, 5, 6 days of just no precipitation. Drought is likely going to start to be talked about a little bit more, especially as we head into the first weeks of August. I mean, it is a dry period of year, so it's not unheard of to have these dry spells this time of year. But again, it is going to be pretty dry, so take that for what it's worth. But if you go from Chicago to St. Louis to Louisiana a little bit east, I mean, especially New York, D.C., Atlanta, Louisville, Kentucky, Richmond, Virginia, you're looking at into North Carolina, South Carolina, pretty good chance of seeing precipitation that's going to be above average. So again, it's Mother Nature loves to even things out, but it's never fair. It's always like too much in one and not enough in the other, and it looks like this is exactly what that is going to be. So what do? Well, we deal with it, and we just kind of plug our way through this. I just off topic a little bit. I was talking to some people on social media, and I happened to mention that it was back in December of 2022. We were looking at wind chill that was 20 to 30 degrees below zero for parts of eastern Nebraska and 50 to 60 degrees below zero for a wind chill in western Nebraska, and that's just crazy. So that's what that'll be 6 months from now. So we're going from temperatures in the 90s, heat indices. I didn't even talk about heat indices. That's going to be coming our way, and that's likely going to be 110, 115, 120. The reverse of that is 30, 40, 50, 60 degrees below zero for December and January. So yeah, it's never easy. But anyway, thank you everybody for following me. I've got quite a few new followers lately, so that's absolutely fantastic. If you think about it, if this is the first time you're seeing this, like and subscribe. That way, I love to do the severe weather stuff whenever there's severe weather happening. It doesn't look like that's going to be a problem over the next couple of weeks, at least for the center part of the U.S. But if there is, I try to jump on and try to let everybody know what's going on. So appreciate you. Like and subscribe would be a big help. Ding the little bell too, so you get notified if I ever go live or if I post something new, like I'm going to do with this. So thanks everybody. See you next time.